バムはさすがにね、体格的にちょっとハンデあると思う。
あるよね。
遅いと思う。
本日はバムがバルガス戦勝利後に井上尚弥選手に対してまさかの発言。レジェンドたちもこの井上尚弥 vs バムについて予言した件を見ていきます。先日中谷選手から判定勝利を奪い、スーパーバンタム級で最強を改めて証明した井上尚弥選手。数多くのレジェンドファイター、海外メディアから早くフェザー級に階級を上げてほしいという声が日に日に高まっております。ただ、そんな中、井上尚弥選手と最後スーパーバンタム級で戦ってほしいとの声が高まっているのがバム選手です。そんなバム選手でしたが、見事6ラウンドで KO 勝利、被弾することが今までの試合と比べれば多かったものの、圧倒的な試合運びでした。試合後のインタビューでは、
3階級世界王者となり最高だね。やるべきことは全て正しくできたと思う。チームのみんなともこういう結果になることは分かっていたよ。でもアントニオ・バルガスは予想していたよりもずっとタフだったね。パンチに力もあった。だから6ラウンドを通してずっと警戒しなきゃいけなかったけど、ありがたいことに6ラウンド目に彼を仕留めることができた。それが全てさ。バルガスのパンチにはいいキレがあったんだ。あんな風にキレのあるパンチを打ってくるとは思っていなかった。少しはあるだろうとは知っていたけど、思った以上に手強かったよ。それに最初のダウンを奪った後も彼は立ち上がってまるで何事もなかったかのように戦い続けたんだ。彼には大きなリスペクトを送るよ。
と対戦相手の攻撃には最大限の賛辞を送るという真摯な対応。そしてインタビュアーから、さあ、あなたは3階級の世界王者となりました。そして誰もがあなたの次を知りたがっています。次の試合でモンスター井上尚弥と戦う準備はできていますかと担当率直に質問が及ぶと、
誰が相手でもいつでも準備はできているよ。プロモーターたちが組む相手なら誰でもね。俺の前に連れてきてくれれば俺はイエスというだけさ。エディもチームもそれは分かってくれている。
と陣営が組む相手であれば誰でも戦うとしていました。ただ、さすがにフェザー級に上げようとしているくらい最強な井上尚弥選手にスーパーバンタムでぶつかるのはさすがに無謀なのではないかとの声もあり、インタビュアーから、バンタム級での初戦でこのような素晴らしい戦いを見せたわけですが、次に行く前にもう一戦、バンタム級の他の王者と挟んだ方が良いと思いますか？それともすぐにでも井上戦へ直行したいですか？と質問が及ぶと、
さっきも言ったようにチームが言う通りにするよ。彼らが名前を挙げてくれれば俺はすぐにイエスと答える。相手が誰であれどこであれ関係ない。準備はできている
と回答。また試合後のインタビューでもエディハーンやバムラも井上尚弥戦に向けて注目発言。
If we wake up tomorrow and see Inoue's gone to 126, is Bam going to stay at 118 long term? And then follow up to that, do you not see that as risky? As we're essentially gambling our whole future just in case this one guy says yes?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think if we don't do it soon, we're probably going to miss the boat. I mean, you know, when we talked about the Inoue fight a year ago, Bam was at 115 pounds. He'd just come up from 112. You know, it looked like a bridge too far, you know, a step too far. Being at 118 and being one division away makes it much more realistic, but that was his first fight there tonight. And I think, you know, I'm a little bit of a fantasist when it comes to matching fights. For me, you know, I know there's weight classes for a reason, but I don't think the step is too far for him at 122. But I do think it's a disadvantage for him against Naoya Inoue. I mean, it can only be when you're fighting a much bigger guy, and that's what he is. But Robert and Bam are going to have to weigh up a decision. Do you do it now, or do you run the risk of letting it go forever? I don't think there's a bad decision, because, you know, realistically, Bam can stay at 118 pounds, fight all the champions, try and be undisputed. The move to 122 is inevitable, but is it in December, January, or is it in a year's time? So a lot depends on the offer. I've got to be honest. I mean, you know, I think it's going to have to be, and it will be, an attractive offer in the respect of it's really, I don't want to be disrespectful to Usyk because, you know, but he is coming to the back end. You're really looking at pound for pound number one v pound for pound number two, whichever way you want to call it. And that's very rare in the sport. It's a mega fight in Japan, mega fight worldwide. I think if the offer is right, I think Bam and Robert will do it. I don't think they have any fear of doing it. And Bam's the kind of guy that he really wants to get stuck in to those kind of fights now, rather than when he's 29 or 30. I just get the flavour from him. Like going into this fight here, we could have had a voluntary defence, and he just wasn't interested. He was like, no, what else can we do? I was like, well, you can go up again and fight another. Yeah, that's what we want to do. And I just, like, he wouldn't have a voluntary defence at 118. It would only be a unification that he'd be interested in. And you know, if the Inoue fight comes, you know, I don't think you'll get too much from him. In a minute, he'll just say, I'll fight whoever. But that is the genuine truth, and it will be up to me and Robert to decide whether that's the right offer and the right move.
Stephen Coreno.
Hold on, got a mic here.
Stephen Coreno, KO Artist Sports, Fight Hub TV. Eddie, you know, there's another champion, Tacoma Inoue, you know, named Inoue, right, at 118. I think Bam talked about it earlier in the week, just that it'd be like a storybook kind of lead up to the Inoue that everyone wants. I mean, you said he probably isn't going to take a voluntary defense. Could that be maybe the most logical step on a second fight at 118, fighting the brother of the guy that you
again, great narrative, great story. I think we have to really look at if the Inoue fight is going to happen, because otherwise the brother story, you know, it's a unification, which is important, but obviously the narrative of that is to go and fight Inoue. So I think a lot depends on Turki Al-Sheikh's plans for Naoya Inoue, and deciding whether that fight is going to potentially take place, and whether we fight in between. I mean, look, there's not just the other Inoue brother, there's Chispa Medina, who is our other champion at 118 pounds. And, you know, again, a lot depends on the offer, I think, you know, and if it's not an offer that's attractive, then we carry on unifying the division. And, you know, Bam's got many years ahead of him.
Eddie, have you already heard from Turkey?
Not yet, no.
And I wanted to ask you,
my phone.
oh yeah, if you were watching this clearly from the lens of, is he ready for Inoue? First 4 rounds, maybe not, but the way he set up his power and then landed that power in the 5th and 6th round, does that convince you that he is all in for this fight?
Yeah, I mean, look, when you say, you know, first 4 rounds, I mean, I think he was getting into the fight. I thought Vargas was fantastic.
Bam, I don't know if you remember, but years ago when you won your first world title, I asked you how far could you go up in weight classes? And you said 5 divisions. You go 12, 15, 18, 22, 26. I kind of laughed at the idea of 26. I thought that was probably too much. Is it a reality now? You got 3. 4 is on the horizon. Do you think you can still go up to 22 and 26?
I think so. I mean, I'm only 26 years old. I feel like I haven't even hit my full man strength yet. So it's really just time's going to tell how far I can go. I know how far I can go, but we need to see if my body allows it.
Congratulations. That's a great performance tonight, champ.
All right, guys.
そしてこの注目のカードを見守るレジェンドですが、井上尚弥 vs バムについてはっきり言っています。
ちょっとレベルが違うと思うから、
確かにけどね、バムも結局バンタム級を取ります、まず取ったとしても、これいきなりダイレクト井上チャンピオンと上げても、これ体格差やっぱりあると思うんですよ。井上チャンピオンは何年もかけてスーパーバンタムの体今作ってあんだけ出来上がってきたわけじゃないですか。バムはさすがにね、体格的にちょっとハンデあると思う。
あるよね。
細いと思う。線が細いと思う。
の強さを認めつつも、普通のチャンピオンじゃ勝てないよな。バムには井上尚弥 vs バムも見たいけど、井上チャンピオンには勝てないよとレベルが違うとしていました。以上、今回はバムの試合に集まった声を見ていきました。ぜひ井上尚弥 vs バム行われた場合、どのような形で勝敗が決まるか皆様の予測もお聞かせください。なお、バム戦について海外情報が入れば速報しますので、ぜひ見逃さないようにチャンネル登録してお待ちください。登録忘れずに。以上、今回も動画をご視聴いただきありがとうございました。別の動画でもお会いできるのを楽しみにしております。